Welcome to the iceHQ ice rink in a reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung traditional land for the iceHQ Pro League Summer 2023-2024. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me again this evening is Anton Goss. It's Friday night, which is hockey night here at iceHQ, except Saturday night will also be hockey night, and Sunday afternoon will be, well, hockey afternoon, because coming up this weekend we have the iceHQ Melbourne Ducks playing in their third and final exhibition series against the Adelaide Rush, and they're playing here at 7:30 tomorrow evening and 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and that's going to be a great show for the iceHQ Ducks. But that's not what we're here for tonight. Tonight we are here for round 8 of our third season. We're right smack bang in the middle, and it's the Snipers versus a very, very depleted Inferno. The Inferno find themselves in a familiar position this season. They're fighting to stay in the finals. I don't know if you recall, Gossie, but last season they were pretty ordinary to start off with and ended up winning the series. But this time around, I don't know, they've really got their work cut out for them, especially with the size of their bench they have today, which is reminiscent of a C-grade beer league team. They've got 5. But anyway, just so you understand how the finals format works, coming up in just a few weeks now, it's a straight 1v2 grand final. So for tonight for the Inferno, they have to win if they want to give themselves a chance to make that. The points for them are starting to get a bit scarce on the ground. No matter what happens tonight, the Dogs are guaranteed of getting into the grand final. The question is only, do they finish first or potentially second on the ladder? I don't think anyone would be game to bet against them the way they've been going of late. Gossie, I think you'd agree the Dogs have been the absolutely outstanding team of the season. But that's not why we're here. It's on tonight for the Inferno. Gossie, what do you reckon?
I think you laid it out pretty nicely for everyone tuning in, just how these seasons have gone. I mean, the Inferno have looked good at times. If you remember, a few weeks ago, they did spring out to an early lead against the Dogs. They went up 1-0. They went then down 2-1, tied at 2-2, and then all hell broke loose, and I think it was a 5-2 game in the end.
Let's not also forget that the first time these two teams played, way back in round 2, the Inferno beat the Snipers 4-3 after a 3-all game, and it was a shootout. So they've certainly got the ability to do it. What they don't have today is the players. They just don't have the players on the ice.
Well, and
What's going on?
Yeah, look, I mean, I understand people have lives. I mean, I think we all wish that we were earning William Nylander, Austin Matthews money here at
I'd rather play in a competitive
iceHQ.
team. I'd much rather be in a competitive team than have their pocket money.
But I know there's been a number of things that have had that, but definitely numbers have hurt them. And, you know, one of the big names to move over to the Inferno in the offseason with the folding of the Dogs was their captain, Matt Caruana. And he's only been able to attend 3 of the games so far this season, and is only sitting on 1 goal. So he's been here for 3 of 4. He missed 2 weeks ago. When he was with the Dogs, he was one of the leading scorers in the league. So they're going to be needing him to put one in. And it was last game that they played that he did get that first goal of the season. So maybe that's a streak that we'll start to see extend from their captain, Mac.
Well, they do have the Nikitan boys here this evening, and they are 2 very efficient players as well. We can certainly say that they combine extraordinarily well. They might be able to take advantage of some lapses that the Snipers have occasionally had in defence. They do have a bit of a habit occasionally. Some of their less experienced defensive players have made some interesting decisions under pressure that have certainly, against teams with aggressive forecheck, got them in a lot of trouble. And we've seen... not Hector. I don't think Hector's here. But
he will be here tonight, Hector, which will be a big addition
will be here for the Inferno.
To the team.
So if someone like Hector can get a decent forecheck in happening for the Inferno, then they certainly in with a chance. But they've got about, I think, 8 or 9 players at the moment, which at least means they'll get a little bit of a rest. But they'll be up against a Snipers team which has 2 and a bit lines. And that's going to pay off in the third. Lucky for the Inferno, though, I think they may benefit a little bit from the cuts between each period. That's going to give them a chance to get their breath back a little bit and keep the intensity a little higher than if it was last few seasons format, which was like only the 2-minute break between the first and the second.
Well, if you're Coach Drew Coffrey, you're 100% just trying to push the systems and saying, let's go out, let's play hard, get the puck deep, let's skate these guys to the ground early to start every game and keep them going. Because, you know, as much as the Snipers have struggled against the Dogs the last 2 times, they have played a pretty decent three-line game where they're able to roll it over. They've got some scoring potency. Their captain, probably their number 1, Liam Webster, scoring a lot. Who's not here today. So
and neither too is Michael McMahon. So that's going to open up the Snipers in defence a fair bit, and the Inferno may be able to take advantage of that. They do have Bradley Apps out on the ice, I think. Is that? No, not Apps. That's
McDowell. They've got McDowell there. Flax out there still as well. You know, but what you're going to see is you're going to need to see the emergence of some of these younger guys. Logan Gallagher's still out after last week blocking a shot, but Spencer Nave, he's really enjoying being out here. Dixon's back. I'd like to see the jump of Jacob Laver, who plays on the back end. You know, now without McMahon or Webster playing on the back there, some of these younger guys are going to get a little bit more ice time and be able to show what they're worth. It'd be interesting to see if it's Laver and Sincata that are playing side by side today on the back end.
When you talk about the guys getting a lot of ice time, just take one look at the Inferno.
Yeah.
they're going to get a lot of ice time.
Well, look, I mean, I'm counting.
Playing beer league games when you've got like two on the bench, it's pretty hard.
I'm counting 7, so at least they've got one forward and one defenseman to be able to change. But if they need someone, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the rink right now that got some gear if they want to throw some on. You know?
I was half tempted myself, but I'm a little bit past playing full contact, and it was never that good to start with. But notwithstanding, what things to watch that the Inferno will probably want to try and do is slow the game down as much as they can. Watch for them taking really slow changes at face-offs, dawdling, going on and off the ice, just really putting the brakes on every chance they can. They'll play some real gamesmanship to try and keep the game as slow as possible. The Snipers, on the other hand, will be trying to put the pressure on and keep the hammer down and really try and just run their legs out. So it'll be an interesting contrast in how the two teams set up and get going. So with the draw at the moment, the ladder, the Dogs are out on 9 points with a clear lead, and they've had, and the Snipers with 5 and the Inferno with just the 2 from that one win way on early in the season. So if the Inferno win tonight, it gets interesting because they'll get close to the Snipers, and then they give themselves a real chance to make the finals. If they lose tonight, it's not impossible for them to make finals, but it will be very, very difficult indeed. So tonight for the Inferno is their chance to really stay alive, and for the Snipers to put them out of it. Let's see how it goes.
And starting off, facing off is the captain, Matt Kwan, up there against Paul Lazzarato, and the face-off does favor the Snipers, and it is Laver and Sincata playing together on the back end here for the Snipers, with Michael McMahon and Liam Webster not in the lineup today.
So watch for Inferno trying to get behind that Snipers defense.
Lazzarato with a shot on, and Seb Woodland sees some rubber early as he makes his first save of the game.
Just a few 20 seconds into that first period, and watch to see just how slowly the Inferno set it all up.
Yeah, you know, and looking.
You can't blame them, but that's what they're going to do all night.
Tommy Forrest also back in the crease here for the Snipers. He's played 2 games so far this season, sitting with .902 save percentage. So he'd be looking to stop the Inferno attack at every chance he gets. And here's Caruana with it, sending it back to the point. A shot on deflected, saved there by Forrest and collected by Sincata there behind the net.
Good quality shot there on the net by the Snipers there, Nathan Kacher. It was a good low hard shot and created an opportunity.
On the stick now of Jacob Laver as he enters the offensive zone. He's being watched there by Caruana. Puck sent behind the net there for Dixon, fresh from the under-20 World Championships. The puck sent far side corner, and the Inferno will look to get it out to neutral zone.
It's good to have Dixon back on the ice. We do know he was injured last week.
Puck now sent forward. It's picked up by Dave Barrett. I love watching this guy play. So it's industrious, hard work, and can stick handle in a phone booth. He sends that behind the net. It's with Apps, a nice move, but that's stick checked away there by the Inferno defense, and it comes out into the neutral zone. Stolen here by Hector Vrelnik. We haven't seen him much on the ice, but Vrelnik with the puck. Centered to Caruana on the backhand, forehand shot, and squeezing the chicken wing there was Tommy Forrest as he stops the first great scoring chance of this game off the stick of captain Matt Caruana.
Caruana makes the only change that the Inferno can get now, and he subs out and brings Cy Lake back onto the ice. Those two guys, I think, are going to be subbing fairly a lot to try and keep their intensity as high as possible under the circumstances.
So puck on the stick there, a flack. It's centered back, centered in front, shot on, saved there by Forrest short side as the Inferno looked to pounce on that one. That was Tim Nikitin.
Nikitin in a good position there, almost managed to just sneak in behind the goalie.
Yeah, I must remind myself, I did interview Timmy last week, and he did say it's Nikitin, so I've got to remind myself.
You've got to remind yourself.
You're calling him the wrong name all season long.
I think he was also the Superman.
Yeah, and here comes his brother Matt. So Matt Nikitin with the puck on his backhand, looking to center it in front for go, but the puck's pushed onto the half wall and collected by none other than Liam Webster, who's joined the fray. So Liam just a little bit late for the game, but the captain here for the Inferno on the ice, and here he goes with Spencer Nave.
4-on-2 there for the Snipers, but not able to take advantage of it. Webster looking for that cross ice pass.
Calling for it in front of the net was Kikuchi, but not able to collect the puck there. And it's now centered and nearly chopped in by Lazzarato, and the Inferno now do send that down the length of the ice, and icing waved off as Tom Forrest came out of the net. It's passed up there onto the stick of Nave, over to Webster. Here are the Snipers in the offensive zone. Stolen there by Acacia. Centered now and intercepted there by Matt Nikitin, and over to Hector Vilnick.
Webster trying to make a connection there to Lazzarato, but just not quite able to finish it off. It was a good chance.
So puck's on the stick of Laver, who just sends that into the offensive zone, but icing waved off as the Inferno defenseman took a swipe at it.
Macarena being industrious on that forecheck, but not able to get the puck in the end. And a nice shot on the net by Thomas Flack. Takes a punt, but Seb Woodlands made that one look pretty easy, as it wasn't much on it. I think he didn't get a lot of handle on that puck. And again, watch this slow setup by the Inferno.
So here we are, face off to the right of Seb Woodlands, and it's won by Caruana, but stolen there by Dave Barrett. Puts his back up, gets hit there, but now the Inferno come out, and it's with Hector Frelnick now. He's got it, stops, look to center, but stolen by Laver, and now Todd Cutter's going to go the other way. Passes it up there. It's Flack on the backhand, drops it for Cutter. Cutter shot on, and a kick save there, and a beauty by Seb Woodlands.
A good 3-on-2
pinching
move
here
there.
is Sincata. Over to Barrett. Barrett shot in a sweeping stick save by Woodlands there, and another one as he deflects that one into the netting. I hope we'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay. A pass over to Barrett, and what a stick save there by Woodlands.
And Woodlands there being the third defenseman. They've been caught out there a little bit, the Inferno. The Snipers with a 3-on-2. Now all three of the Inferno forwards caught fairly deep in attack, which set up that opportunity for the Snipers.
Barrett did the right thing. That's the hardest thing to save as a goalie when the puck goes the other way, or the way from where you came. He was able to get the stick on, but the pressure remains as Webster tries to chip that deep for Lazzarato. Lazzarato does walk out of the corner now, gets a shot on, and rings that one off the iron. It's back now to Webster. Wait, shot. Nice job there, boxing Dixon out by the defenseman, Keisha. And now it's back to Yuga Kikuchi.
Kikuchi playing
sent it up
defense tonight by the look of it.
Yeah, and here it comes. So it's Webster in on Harper. Harper tries to keep him to the outside, saved by Woodlands.
Snipers overcommitting a lot in attack. They're throwing four players in deep, which is opening them up for opportunities for counterattacks by the Inferno.
Nikitin just left that one. That's going to allow Michael McDowell to collect the puck, and Lazzarato now just chips that forward into the neutral zone right onto the stick of Keisha.
The Snipers will need to be careful of that. If they do overcommit in attack and throw four players in deep, we know that Nikitin can get past them.
Nice little move by Caruana. Winds now off the stick there of Dixon and into the netting. So we'll have a face-off and give these Inferno players a little time to take a breath.
Absolutely. Well, they're getting plenty of breathing, but I think the amount of waste products floating around in their bloodstream at the moment will be getting quite spectacular with 11 minutes to go. It's still 0-0 though.
So here it is. It's stolen shot on Frelnick. Another shot on there by Go.
And that was a beautiful shot.
Forrest was able to make the save. Check this out on the CCM All-Out replay. What do you see, Carl?
That's like getting down low and taking a beautiful shot. And it was just an instinctive save there by Tommy Forrest. He got in front of it and saved it.
So that was Cy Lake there, and the puck does come out into the neutral zone now onto the stick of Harper. Look to center. It's stolen by Barrett. It bounces Barrett with another shot there, but a great job just to get back into the play by Harper there in the defensive zone. And unfortunately, flicked that one a little too high, and he's going to be going for 2 or less here, as you see on the CCM All-Out replay for delay of game.
So if you're not familiar with the rule, if a player in their defensive zone clears the puck out of the zone, but it leaves the ice and hits the netting or leaves the rink apart from the benches there, it's a penalty, and they'll do 2 for delay the game.
All right, interesting face-off there, but it's won forward by the Snipers, but a great job by Frelnick just to get out to the point, able to intercept that one and break out now here for the Inferno. It's on the stick of Nathan Keisha. Frelnick going to the net. Ooh, and that was a dangerous shot by the defenseman. And just hit the pad of Tom Forrest.
A little bit lucky there, I think, the Snipers. They might be a little bit complacent at the moment with the way they're playing.
But here's Flack with speed, breaking in, stick lifted. There's going to be another penalty. And there it is, Thomas Flack. What a goal as he wraps it all around the net and pots that into the gaping hole. And that will negate the hook that he took. But their team will remain on the power play.
And Gossia Poe, who didn't realise the hook that he took. You've been saving that all night, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's early days yet. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But the Inferno, unfortunately for them, down one. They've been industrious so far, but it's going to be a real struggle for them. But the Snipers now with that 1 goal lead, and the Inferno still on the penalty kill. So they will get another 2 minutes of having to kill it. Do they play a conservative box, or do they try and get a shorty? We'll see the Snipers running Liam Webster back in centre, which I always love to see.
So Snipers 1 for 1 on the power play, and they go straight back, but
they ice the puck.
Icing there will shave off a few seconds. And for those at home, just a reminder, they do remain on the power play, and it's the original penalty that stays in the box. So it's not an additional 2 minutes. It's the minute whatever that was left because it was the delayed penalty that won't end up getting called from the hook, just if you're looking at the score clock and wondering why that is what it is. But the Snipers still up a man. It's on the stick of Yuga Kikuchi, who sent that up over for Dixon. He's coming in with speed, and Spencer Nave is going to the net, but watched very well there by Cy Lake and forces the Snipers back. But on the point, walking up, shot on now, and just off the top of the shaft of Spencer Woodlands. And the Inferno do get that down the length of the ice now.
Deep forechecking pressure there by Tim Keaton, the Superman.
So still on the power play. A nice backhand pass by Kikuchi, looking to center. Liam Webster just a little behind him, forced to circle back into his own zone. Spencer Nave now gives it up to Dixon, misses him, and that's going to allow Hector Frelnick to skate in. And what the poise did he have there to turn back and not have the ice or offside.
It's a beautiful piece, too, of essentially time wasting by Hector. He was just holding the puck, and you could see him pausing.
And here it is, nice stick lift off the stick of Matt to his brother Tim. So the Nikitin boys out on the ice now here with 4 skaters for the Inferno. It's on the stick of Matt now. Matt Nikitin in the offensive zone, curls. Hector's going to the net, and Nikitin's just going to take that over into the far side corner. Regroups that now to the flying Frenchman. Hector Freleng has the puck, battled there. And the Snipers now will get it out, but that will call it on the power play. So 5 aside, the Snipers move to 1 for 2 on the power play.
Just looking at the statistics for the league on Hockey Site just this morning, but I think there's been a few mistakes made on that because it's suggesting that no one scored a goal on a power play, and we know that's not true.
There we go. Yeah, it's. I think so far it's just the Dogs, they say, that have a power play goal.
Fairly confident this is not actually the case. I think there's been a couple more than that, but so don't pay too much attention to those statistics, but certainly pay attention to this game. The Inferno doing pretty well. They killed that penalty nicely and got a couple of attacking chances out of it. Did a pretty good job there of keeping the
Here's
Snipers.
Barrett with a snipe there, but into the catching mitt of Spencer Woodlands. Those gorgeous black pads. I mean, there was once upon a time you wouldn't dare see a goalie with any pads other than the color white, but all these black, yellow, whatever you see in the league these days, you really can express yourself in your gear if you're a goaltender. But here comes the puck the other way, and it's on the stick of Matt Nikitin, dropping it there for Caruana, but it's stolen now by the Snipers, and it's on the stick of the goal scorer, Flack. He drops that over for Barrett, couldn't find a teammate, and that's going to spring the speedster. Tim Nikitin the other way. Nikitin with a shot, and that goes right into the glove there of Tommy Forrest.
Being well defended there by Lockie Sincotta, who did a good job of just maintaining distance and forcing him wide, giving him a bad angle, which in the end it makes Tommy Forrest's job a bit easy. Good defensive play there by Lockie.
So here's a face-off, and it's won by Lazzarato, but whistle gone by the linesman there. I believe Mark Farello, probably just trying to assert himself into the game a little bit.
It is Mark Farello there, but interestingly, I think we're not keeping statistics on it, But anecdotally, the Snipers doing a good job of winning most of these face-offs.
Yeah, it's always been a strength. We know the face-off prowess of Liam Webster, but Lazzarado's been pretty good between the dots as well. If you're coming in or going to be tuning in over the next 2 days, where we have the Melbourne Ducks women's team going up against the Adelaide Rush. You may remember the second game of the series last time, it was Tanya Crawley. I think she went 16 straight face-offs before she finally lost one.
She was pretty amazing. But watch Lazzarado's his first move on the face-off is just to drive forward and push his opponent's stick out of the way. And he's been doing that well, so too Webster. And the other thing to realise with the face-offs, it's about intensity and sharp reflexes. Once you start getting tired, it gets really hard.
Yeah, here we are. So face-off was won, and now the Snipers are going down the other way. Lazzarado just missed that one, and first back is going to be a Keisha. Great job just to put that into an area where there wasn't a sniper, and nearly able to spring two of his teammates. Puck's now on the far side wall, though. It does get to the point. A stick lift by Hector Frelanc stops the sniper attack momentarily as Dixon just forced back into his own zone.
4 minutes to play in the first, and you can just see a little bit of the heat dropping out of the Inferno at the moment. They're not quite snuffed out, but dropping their intensity a bit as they're starting to get fatigued and the extra legs.
Oh, and there goes the Inferno for a tumble. But they do get the puck out in the zone and now shot down the length of the ice. First back to it will be Keisha with Caruana on the chase. Caruana forces Keisha just to shovel it on the wall. It's stolen there by the Inferno. And Nikitin centers that one. And great job there by Keisha. Not able to get the shot on.
Good quality scoring chances there for the Inferno.
You got to think they got to capitalize when they get these opportunities. So Nikitin not able to get that, and now it's Sincata going the other way. A nice pass. Cutter's going to get there first, so face-off or icing will be waved off. He centers that and shot off the top of the crossbar as Barrett came close to doubling the lead there for the Snipers late in the first.
Watch on this replay. You'll see that the Snipers get out behind. Toddy Cutter gets behind everyone, and he's away, but only manages to make it into the corner as he's going to pick up that loose puck.
Yeah, you know,
he had good scoring opportunities coming across the slot, so did the right thing. Snipers again winning the face-off, but it's a bit neutral.
So Barrett going to work there. It does get behind the net, and Inferno do get it out now, and it's on the stick of Tim Nikitin. Kicks that over to his forehand, takes a shot that misses, but with a little bit of danger on with Hector Frelanc on the doorstep. Tommy Forrest decides to cover up.
So Forrest there electing to shut the game down and create a scoring opportunity here for counterintuitively the Snipers. With the legs dropping off the Inferno at the moment, the Snipers can get behind them quickly. Just chip it through on this face-off. Their wingers move quickly. They often create a great scoring opportunity from the defensive zone face-off.
So puck sent forward. The goal scorer Flack has it. He's got the Jets, but Keisha doing a great job just keeping him away. And what a poke check there. Able just to dispossess the puck right off the sniper forward, and he's going to come down the other way. So Keisha on the forehand is going to drop it there for Lake, who shot that wide, but it's collected again by Keisha, being watched by two Snipers. He elects to just regroup that over to Hector Frelanc, who's being watched by two Snipers players, and it's Dave Barrett now who's able to get it up to Kikuchi, who can't get it out. Shot on by Lake, and that one just went wide, and first to it will be Todd Cutter for the Snipers.
I'm going to think the Inferno have had a lot of shots at the net, but not on the net. If they can just get a few more of them between the posts and force Tommy Forrest to have to make a save.
So here's Kikuchi now looking to just bring it inside. Great poke check, but scores! Michael McDowell, the puck just dropped to him in the high slot, and he shot that one nearly straight through the twine. You can see that. What a rocket by the Sniper. Nothing Seb Woodlands could do there.
Yeah, it was good positioning. Get that high slot position with the puck, and the goalie's a little bit undressed in that situation. It's an absolute prime scoring opportunity, and they tickled the twine with it, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tough one there.
Not much you can do there.
Great job.
It was just under a minute to go in this period too, so the boys' legs are getting pretty tired.
Yeah, it was a great job by Hugh just to use the body and prevent Kikuchi from getting a stick on the puck, but unfortunately the puck just bounced off his D partner's stick right onto McDowell, and when you got all that time, all that space in the slot area, most players don't make any mistake there.
You see Cotter with a little bit of a blunder there, passing across the front of the net, basically straight to The Inferno player in the slot's created an opportunity now for the Inferno.
And the Harper takes a shot, deflected there off the mask of Forrest as Matt Nikitin almost clawed one back. But here's Caruana walking out. Nice stick lift there by Sincata defensively on the Inferno captain, and then boxed him out behind the net. Laver now trying to do the same to Lake and does get the puck out, but it will go down the length of the ice. But that will be the end of the first period.
At the end of the first period, we have a 2-0 lead to the Snipers. A little bit like we were expecting it to go, but the Inferno certainly created some good opportunities. What they'll need to do if they're going to be a bit more competitive in the second is those shots they've been getting actually put them on the net. The Snipers are making some defensive mistakes, and they are putting themselves under pressure. They probably don't need to. There's a mistake a little bit earlier there by Sincata passing the puck basically right into the Inferno's hands in the slot of his own defensive area. He made up for it with some good contest, but they've got to be very mindful that they don't let that continue to happen. 2-0 the lead at the end of the first. Anton Goss is just heading over now to try and get an interview with one of the players. I'm not sure who he's grabbed. We might be getting Cy Lake by the look of it. So we'll have an interview now with Cy Lake from the Inferno. I'll cut over to that in just a second as soon as Gossie's ready.
Awesome, Carl. I'm here with Inferno player Cy Lake. A lot of ice time out there for you guys, eh? Like, what's going through the team knowing that you got a little bit of a short bench?
Just trying to keep the puck moving, really, not wasting our legs. But it's hard having like half their guys, so just trying to keep the puck moving more than we are.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are being very industrious out there, and you guys are actually creating a lot of scoring opportunities. Obviously, one of those goals on the power play, delayed penalty, man advantage, hard to battle, but definitely looking on the forecheck, you guys are making your chances. What do you guys need to do on the bench to kind of conserve the energy if you need to, or create those scoring opportunities?
Maybe a little bit quicker shifts. Like, we are short on guys, but some of the shifts are a little too long, even for having a short bench. So, I don't know, maybe just keeping your energy conserved, really, so then we can get our best opportunities in the O-zone.
For sure. Well, we know you guys can beat the Snipers. You've done it once before. I always know in my own hockey career, sometimes the games you have fewer players, sometimes the magic just happens and the hockey gods look down on you. But it's going to start with that hard work. So go in there, suck in as much air as you can, because there's going to be plenty of hockey left.
Too easy.
Thanks, Cy. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you very much, Gossie. Cy Lake absolutely giving a lesson to everyone who plays beer league. Keep your shifts short, yeah? He's absolutely right. When you're out there for too long, you run out of legs. So short shifts and also keep that puck moving is what the Inferno will need to do. And they've done that pretty well throughout that period. They did create a number of pretty good opportunities. Shots on the net doesn't really reflect the reality of that game. 15-9 to the Snipers, but the Inferno had a lot of shots that missed everything, and so they weren't counted as a shot on the net. Had quite a few good scoring opportunities there as well. Reminder that we will be getting this rink ready for the exhibition game on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. for the Ducks against the Adelaide Rush in the Melbourne Ducks attempt to earn themselves a place in the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League for next season. Come along and cheer on our girls and pack our barn. We want to show the AWIHL just exactly what we can do here at iceHQ. But for now, we will take a break for 10 minutes and be back with you for period 2.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet,
flex your stick, or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you.
is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
Put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
the ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
Welcome back, everyone, to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in the Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the iceHQ Pro League. We're about to see the start of the second period between the Snipers and the Inferno. And if you look at the scoreboard, you'd be thinking, by golly, it's been all Snipers. And if you're looking at the signed-in roster, you'd be thinking, what chance, the Inferno? But reality has shown us quite the opposite. I think the Inferno have had a number of really good scoring opportunities, and they're playing a pretty good brand of hockey. And Cy Lake, who was just interviewed earlier by Anton, was telling it absolutely as it is. They've got to keep their shifts short, although how you do that when you've only got a few guys on the bench, I'm not quite sure. But you do your absolute best to keep your shifts as short as possible, keep your intensity high, and make the puck do the work. It sounds like one of those really obvious things, Anton, as I'm sure you know, but the puck does move faster than the fastest player on the ice. And if you can get the puck moving around and keep the other team chasing, it can go the other way. And I think that's what the Inferno will need to do. They showed some good chance and some good promise in that period. They'll need to score early because it's towards the end of the period is when the fatigue will really start to burn them out. But if they can keep the intensity high right at the start of this period, Anton, I reckon they're in with a chance.
Yeah, I think you got to choose your moments, right? I mean, with the bench that they have, you can't imagine if they go down by 3 or 4 goals that they're going to be able to come back and score 5 goals in the third period.
Yeah,
but
that's unlikely. But
if they can keep this, within a 2-goal game, anything can happen, because it's amazing how with 3 minutes left in the game, you score a goal and you're down by 1, and all of a sudden, the 60 minutes or 50 minutes that you played, well, not in this, but whatever amount of minutes it is, you forget about it. But if you're the Snipers, I mean, if Thomas Flack, what a goal by him turning on the Jets, and he would hope that he could play against the Inferno every week. I mean, he's got 5 points so far this season, 4 of them coming against the Inferno. This makes his second goal to go with 3 assists. His only other point coming game 1 against the Dogs.
They certainly don't have the level of physicality that the Dogs defense has. So this is a much less physical game than we've seen certainly the last couple of weeks, where it got a bit fierce at times and there was a few escalations, for lack of a better expression, whereas this one's been pretty tame so far. I don't think there's been a single real hit. But the Snipers have made a couple of pretty interesting defensive choices. Sincotta in particular made one towards the end which gave the Snipers a great chance. Sorry, the Inferno a great chance when he passed right across into the slot where there was an Inferno player just waiting for it, and was pretty lucky to get away with that one, I think. But if they can keep the head screwed on a little bit, the Snipers, they'd be hard to bet against. But the Inferno certainly do have a chance in this game at the moment, but they will need to, as you say, Gossi, pick their moment. Adrenaline is a great overcomer of fatigue, but you do run out of that as well. So it will be fascinating to see how this period goes. We'll be underway very shortly, just while we wait for the ice to set. So just a reminder too to everyone who is listening, it is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. the Melbourne Ducks women's team play in their last exhibition series against the Adelaide Rush, and we would love to absolutely fill this barn to bursting point. Come down and cheer on our girls, and let's show the AWIHL just what we can do here at iceHQ. We did it with the boys, with the Ducks. We can do it here for the girls as well, and I'd love to see, I'm sure we'd all love to see a really big crowd, and the girls would really appreciate it. They did great last time they played, taking that second game against the Sydney Sirens for their first ever win, and I can tell you this place was absolutely rocking when that happened. But that's not now. That's not now. That's tomorrow. And right about now, we're about to get underway in the second. Lazzarotto lining up to take the face-off against
Hector. Well, another thing too for anyone who's tuning in is Hector doesn't got his flow anymore. He's trimmed the locks. Let's see if that has any what's it, Samson's hair strength.
That was who took that face-off actually. The old joker who's on first, but who was on first there, and he won the face-off. They did it quite nicely too against Lazzarotto. Nice clean win. You see the Snipers, the Inferno's defence pinching in really close. It's a bit dangerous, especially with Webster on the ice.
Covered up there by Forrest. So we'll do it again. Hector Phonak facing off against.
Let's just have a look at how they set up here, Gossi. Watch the Inferno's defence. See how far in they're coming from the blue line, and you'll see that
it's who there just tripping in, trying to.
Very close.
Yeah, but it's one forward and a shot on short side, and Tommy Forrest covers up again. So a little bit on replay, but as you said, a lot of being action ready for the drop, right, Carl?
Yep. So they're taking the chances here and rolling the dice early. If the Snipers get behind them, it's going to get interesting. They'll get another chance.
Puck's loose
here.
now, and it does come out in the corner. Lazzarotto gets there, and Liam Webster now just pushes it up to Dixon, who comes in on who. Nice poke check by the Inferno defenseman, but Jacob Laver comes up in a blocking arm save there, but it's on the stick of Webster, who takes a shot. It bounces. Woodlands is down, but lucky for him, it's collected by Nikitin, who sends that down right on to Tom Forrest.
I think Webster
he plays that to keep it alive.
Webster was as surprised as the rest of us that didn't go in. It looked like it was in from everywhere, except the one thing that mattered, and that's actually touching the twine, which he did not do.
It's collected by Sincotta, who calmly sent that out into the neutral zone. Keisha now for the Inferno, looking for one of the Nikitin brothers, and it's on the stick of Matt. But his brother Tim was just a little bit offside, so we'll have a face-off in front of the Inferno bench.
So they're big boys too, the Nikitins. Both pretty tall, good reach, and we have certainly seen them at some of their best when they've been playing here for the Inferno, and they're going to need to absolutely play out of their skins tonight.
So puck's on the stick of Yuga Kikuchi here for the Snipers. Looked to center that, but it bounced off Caruana, and now with Lake looking to center that, but a great active stick by the defenseman McDowell, who is on the score sheet so far with the second goal for the Snipers. Here's Kikuchi with a little sauce pass looking for Cutter, but calmly Keisha springs Caruana in on a breakaway. Nice move shot, and he scores! The captain, Caruana, puts it in after a nice move on the breakaway and halves the lead here 2-1 in favor of the Snipers.
Yeah, Caruana, they're just taking advantage of a little bit of laxity on the part of the Snipers D. They come up a bit high. Caruana got out behind them and they didn't see him. And then there was that beautiful pass straight onto his stick. And he had lots and lots of time and space. Way too much time and space.
So much
and
patience.
If you're going to give it to someone, he's not the one you give it to, is he?
Yeah, too much patience. Starting with Keisha in his own end, the poise, just to pause up, do a little stick handling, and then went tape to tape to his captain, who made absolutely no mistake.
This is the start that the Inferno needed. It's down to a 1-goal game with 14 and a half minutes to play.
So let's see what it does to their legs. It's on the stick of Keisha there, who looks to spring Nikitin. And it's Tim with it on his stick. So Tim Nikitin in the corner, stolen by McDowell, but Hector Verlenk gets the puck, look to regroup that behind to Nikitin, but it comes all the way out to Keisha. Goes across over now, sent there for Verlenk, but he couldn't get that one on.
It would have been a beautiful tip-in if he just made that connection, but one of those easy things to say. And very hard to
Keisha comes in to pinch. He now has it on his stick. Stick's lifted by Flack, and Todd Cutter now has it for the Snipers as he leaves that for Barrett, who's watched by who. It comes back there for Lake, and a one-touch pass looking for Tim Nikitin, intercepted by Kikuchi, and the Snipers will now regroup in their own zone. Dave Barrett runs into the linesman, but now drops it there for Lazzarato. Looked to backhand it forward to Cutter, but stolen by Davey behind the net. Barrett over to Lazzarato, back to Sincata. What a save by the blocking arm there of Woodlands, and the puck bounces off the skate of his captain, and he covers up after Mack gives him a tap on the shoulder after a dangerous bounce nearly cost them.
So nice shot there by Sincata. He was unmarked up on the point there. Got a good chance to get the puck in. We've got Lazzarato now facing off against
Caruana.
See who wins this one. Caruana takes that one.
Great job there, just to use the strength of his forehand there, just to prevent Lazzarato from getting stick to puck. But the puck is sent down the length of the ice now into the Inferno zone. First to it will be Seb Woodlands, who leaves it for Harper. He now stretches forward to Keisha, who's playing a bit of forward as everybody has to take a turn, I guess, with such a short bench. But Lazzarato now comes the other way. He's alone, so he'll take a shot and into the breadbasket there of Woodlands as he'll cover up.
Lazzarato had some support, but it was all a fair bit behind him. He was a bit. He was actually surrounded by 3 Inferno, which did force him out pretty wide. It's a good defensive play there by the Inferno. They've got a bit more spring in their step in this first couple of minutes of this second period.
2-1 lead here. Shots are 19-13 in favor of the Snipers, but it's the Inferno playing with a little bit more pace and fire in their game. Puck's on the stick there, and there is a hand up, so there will be a penalty, and it's going to go the way of the Inferno, and it's going to go to Harper. So that one's going for a slash. He'll get a 2-minute or less break to think about his actions.
He'll be hoping for the 2 minutes for not just one reason, not just the lack of getting a goal, but also 2 minutes of sitting down having a rest.
Yeah, and with that, that brings Adam up to 20 penalty minutes in the season. So he's been a naughty boy so far. And the Snipers go back to the power play. And if you remember, their first goal of the game by Flack was scored on the power play after a delayed penalty was called on the Inferno. So here they are with the puck. It's Liam Webster, their captain, on the half wall, walks out, takes a shot, and that's a relatively easy one there for Seb Woodlands as it hit him right in the chest.
There wasn't much on that one at all there from Liam, a bit uncharacteristic. He always looked like he was trying to feather it in for tip-in, but no one there to take advantage of it. Let's see if he can win it back to Sincata on this face-off. It looks like that's what he's setting up for.
So puck's back on the stick of Dixon. Looking, he's going to drop it for Sincata. Webster comes in. You know, he'll like to take a shot, but just shoots that into the far side corner. Lazzarato picks it up, brings it back to the point for Webster. Webster gives it over to Laver. A bouncing puck allows a little bit of action on it, and Caruana does chip it out, but couldn't get past Webster as he used his body just to box out the the Inferno captain and goal scorer. Intercepted, though, by him here, shorthanded. Caruana with a move, brings it to the forehand, goes for the move, and he scores! Caruana with the magic mitts, shorthanded, stole a pass, and just took everyone to school as he outweighted absolutely everyone before depositing that one in the back of the net.
And we are back at a 2-2 game, which is a pretty exciting thing for us now with about 5 minutes to go, I think, once we get the timer back up on the scoreboard. A beautiful play there. And a bit of another defensive lapse there by the Snipers. Just some risky passes that are getting intercepted. I just want to remember to play the puck up the ice and just get those basics right. It's one of the things that Michael McMahon is very big on.
Oh, and there's Flack looking for it.
His players to do, and I think when he's not here, they tend to forget it a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one there if you're a Sniper fan, but the Inferno are right back in it, and you can see Mac and Georgia laughing about that one on the bench. Some great work there by their captain. And going back to the keys to the game, we did say we'd need a big game. Uncharacteristically, only 1 goal so far in the season for Caruana, but now he's up to 3 as he's got both Inferno goals here in the second period.
They've got a lot of spring in their step now. They've got a fair bit more intensity in what they're doing. The Inferno,
and here's another one, shorthanded. Nikitin coming in, but Forrest able to sweep that one away onto the stick of Kikuchi. So the Sniper is probably hoping this power play ends as it's been all Inferno, but here they are in a 2-on-1. It's Flack with a move trying to go through the legs, and he centers it out in front of Kikuchi, who takes a shot, rebounds there, but Flack wasn't able to collect. Cutter was wide open, and Flack elected to take it himself, and it didn't work out, and now here come the Inferno the other way with a shot, and that one goes wide.
Great goaltending there. Sebby Woodland's just getting a pad in the way. And, just a good positional save. I don't think you could see much of it.
So we're back to 5-on-5 as the Snipers now go 1 for 3, and a shot on there. Close by Nikitin as Tommy Forrest was out high in the blue. Like, how are you leaving Tim Nikitin so wide open there on the back door? Great job, Tommy Forrest.
Just about 8 minutes to go in the second. We're all squared up at 2 goals apiece. And this period has been not quite all Inferno, but certainly all the scoring has been Inferno. Shots on the net so far pretty even. 6 to the Snipers, 7 to the Inferno, but good quality. And the Snipers need to tidy up their defence and stop making those mistakes, or the Inferno will embarrass them.
Puck there, shot into the far side. It's now in the corner for the Inferno. Drop there. It's on the stick of the captain, Caruana. He's got both goals here for the Inferno. He just deposits that back in the corner. Out! There was Vrillank, but that hit the outside of the net, and now onto the stick of Laver as he pushes that forward. Liam Webster leads the rush, takes it in. Nice poke check there by Hu, and Harper, who is sitting in the box for that shorthanded goal, gets a chance with the stick, puck on his stick.
So Harper with some fresh legs now. He's had that 2 minutes to sit down and have a bit of a recover.
And here comes the always effervescent Dixon as he crashes the net, but a good stick save there by Seb Woodlands.
Mazarotto looking for the rebound, but there was no one in the slot there for the Snipers to take advantage of it.
Webster sends it back. Inferno with it through Nave. He's just going to chip that forward as he gets hit there by Cy Lake. Harper now just off the wall, trying to get it up and intercepted by Barrett. His team tags up and evades the check of Harper, but Nikitin, Tim of the Tim variety, has the puck now on his stick. Cuts in front, puck's loose there, and that was Laver able to just push that into the corner, and the Snipers are now out through Nave.
That was a good 3-on-2 opportunity there for the Inferno. You'd think that wouldn't be possible, but they're certainly doing it well.
Shot on there by Nave. Barrett on the rebound, but a hell of a stick lift there by Keisha is going to allow his teammate and captain, Caruana, to get the puck deep into the Sniper zone.
Caruana loose in the slot.
He's got it. He's got his head up, looking, gets it back to Harper, walking down Main Street, but a great stick save there by Forrest. Good move by Kikuchi. It's 2-on-2 here. There's a neck guard just in the bench area, but it's now centered into the slot, and it hit that neck guard.
It's a bit of a trip hazard.
Yeah.
They'll clear that out of the way in a minute.
Puck's now in the far side corner, and Nikitin gets rubbed out there by McDowell, who just chipped it over to Nave, who can't get it past Vrillank. Vrillank sends it deep. It's on the stick of Tim over to his brother, Matt, and they couldn't pot that one in. So the Inferno playing as if they're the team with the extra legs, as it's been in their offensive zone for most of this period. It's now center tip, rebound, and he scores! Tim Nikitin on the doorstep takes an unlikely lead here as the Inferno score their 3rd straight for the second period. and now lead the Snipers 3-2.
It's unexpected, but certainly by the way they've been playing. I think you mentioned earlier, Gossie, that sometimes if you've got a short bench, it can create magic and the hockey gods look down kindly upon you. And that's certainly been the case. They've been given a few good opportunities there by some defensive lapses by the Snipers who've let them get in behind them far too many times so far. They'll need to sort out the Snipers or they're going to be very embarrassed at the end of this game.
Well, that was a goal scored by the Inferno's leading scorer, Tim Nikitin, his 4th of the season, assisted by his brother Matt, and another assist for the great Nathan Keisha. Here come the Snipers, though, looking to get back in this one, as this is not what they would have foreseen when they looked down the bench and noticed they were doubling up the numbers compared to their counterparts.
And then Webster finding himself uncharacteristically on his backside, skating it back
shot there by Lake. Nearly went in. Sorry to interrupt, but
it's all good.
That came close. And now he's twisting and turning out of the corner. You really see that the Inferno realize this is where the ebbs and flows come, and when things are going your way, you have to capitalize. So you can see them just taking that extra step. Lazzarato, though, stick lifted, now takes a shot. It bounces into the slot area. Dixon gives it back to Webster, who sends it right across over to Sincata. He sends that deep behind as the Inferno now hemmed in their own zone, and the Snipers get to work with the cycle. Oh, that was Lazzarato trying to bounce it off the back of the leg, and down goes Nikitin, and as Jacob Laver covers that one up, we're going to have the first power play of the game for the Inferno.
There'll be a tripping penalty there on Justin Dixon. But I've got to say, Gossie, I've been particularly impressed. I think you'd have to agree that So Lake has been an absolute energizer bunny throughout this game. And that intensity before, Lazzarato looked like he was going to get a good shot away. And Lake caught him from behind, lifted his stick and disrupted all of his rhythm. And he's been doing that sort of high intensity throughout this game. And he's a real game maker and a difference maker at the moment for this Inferno team with their first power play.
So here we are. They've got one shorthanded goal to their name, but their first power play opportunity. So let's see what they can do as they look to extend the lead here late in the second period. Intercepted, though, by Sincata, and he'll just send it back into his own zone to Laver just to kill some time off this penalty. He's now decided to dump that down, and it's going to be a high stick as soon as Harper touches the puck. So
we'll be 4-on-4 for a little while.
No, just not a high stick penalty, just a high playing the puck with a high stick. Yeah, no, all good. But I mean, it's definitely what you want if you're a Sniper fan, as you're just killing off more precious seconds in the penalty to Justin Dixon.
Well, let's not forget that one of the Inferno's goals was a shorty, and it was pretty good. So we're going to get this face-off now for the Inferno down in their defensive zone. Can they win it and get a quick breakout?
Well, look at Matt Caruana just wide here. He's looked like he was going to go for the stretch, but decides to come back and just switch up there with Harper. Harper sends that right off the back of Barrett, and how similar was that to the goal that Caruana scored shorthanded?
Inferno being pretty cute, trying to get themselves out of their defensive zone, trying to find some space.
And here it is, the nice moves of their captain. He's got 2 goals so far tonight. Nice move to evade the stick check of Keisha. Now takes that into the near side corner. Goes behind the net, passes it over to Hector Vrelank, who comes out now, sends it back to the point, misses Harper, though, and this is going to allow the legs of Flack to make some action. He's got Barrett just behind him, still keeps it away from Keisha, and now collected by Barrett. 3 Snipers in the offensive zone now, and Barrett just missed Laver, and that's going to go all the way down as Forrest leaves that for Keisha, and that's going to end the penalty to Dixon as Webster nearly bats that off the back of Woodlands. It comes to Kikuchi with a shot that misses everyone. Dixon, fresh out of the box, now has it on his stick, sends it behind the net for Lazzarato, centered there for Webster, but he just bobbled it momentarily and couldn't get off his patented quick shot.
Nikitin there was the one who just lifted up Webster's stick and took that opportunity away from him.
Keisha down to Lazzarato. Lazzarato walks out, shot, save there by Woodlands, who was able to get square and cover up any juicy rebound to end the period.
So we are almost out of time here in the end of the second. The most unexpected score for anyone apart from the faithful of the Inferno with about 45 seconds now to play in the period. With a 1-goal lead, the Inferno 3 to the Snipers 2. Can the Snipers level it up with just 35 seconds to play in the period? You can see the Inferno very slow getting to the face-off. Webster wins at Lazzarotto with a shot, but it goes wide. So Inferno holding behind the net, looking for a breakout opportunity. You've got Nikitin streaking across the ice, but it's gone all the way down the other end of the rink, and that will run more time down. No stop time at the moment. So for the Inferno to go into the break between the second and the third with a 1-goal lead would be a great outcome for them after trailing 2-0 at the end of the first. You can see Lazaro setting up behind Webster, but with just 5 seconds to go now, I don't think we're going to get a puck drop. Very industrious piece of controlling the clock there by the Inferno. Webster's looking a bit frustrated by it. He saw what was happening, but there's nothing much you can do. There's still a bit of gamesmanship there for the Inferno. Just a little bit slow to make everything happen, and Lazzarotto also complaining to the referees about it. So come on, you can't let them do that. But the refs don't call it, and that's the way it goes. The end of the second, 2 goals to the Snipers, 3 goals to the Inferno. Shots 25 to 19. As you can see there on that little graphic, Rossi is going to grab an interview. Don't know who he's got yet, but it looks like it might be possibly Michael McDowell. We'll see in just a moment who he manages to grab by the scruff of the neck, or maybe Lazzarotto. It looks like McDowell, I think. I'll have a bit of a chat with him. Just while we're waiting for that, a reminder, we do have the Women's Ducks games tomorrow and on Sunday, but looks like Gossi has Michael McDowell to have a chat with. And we'll cut over to him right now. Sorry, Thomas Flack.
Alrighty, Carl, I'm here with sniper goal scorer Thomas Flack. Tommy, you're out there with some jets, man. That goal that you scored in the first period, like, walk me through what goes through your mind as you're coming down there with the delayed penalty.
Yeah, I usually just close my eyes and kind of hope for the best. It seemed to work out there. The guys always give me a hard time, but I can only score in the crease, and that one lined up perfectly. So.
Hey, man, they all look the same on the score sheet, right? Exactly. I mean, looking at the game, even all this season, you've had the legs. I mean, interesting stat. Not sure if you know this, but you played the Inferno 3 times. And you got 5 points so far this season, 4 of them all against the Inferno. So, it seems like you like to play against this team. Is there something about them? Why it works out?
No, I know the goalie pretty well, and, I get in his head a little bit, so that helps out, I think.
Yeah, no, being pretty good. I mean, at the start, you look down the bench. They have a short bench. You think, with the speed that you guys had in the first, it looked like you were breaking away. But things kind of turned on their head in that second period. What do you think you got to do in the third just to get back into it?
Yeah, a little chat with the boys in here in the intermission. It wasn't good enough in the second. I think probably got a little cocky in the first, thinking we're going to run away with it. So probably need to wake up a little bit and get back to what we're doing.
Well, we're definitely going to look forward to it. It's going to be some good hockey. I know you guys have the fire to win, and I think they feel like they need to steal one from you. So the only way we can find out is to watch the next 20 minutes. So
I think we got this.
Yeah,
one.
good.
No
all right.
worries. Appreciate
well,
it.
You're here first. Thanks, Thomas. I'll go back to you, Carl.
Thank you very much, Anton, and also Thomas Flack there for that little chat. And Flack very interestingly saying when he gets in close to take a shot, he's not looking, he's just kind of hoping. And well, if you don't know where it's going, neither does the goalie, so it gives you a pretty good chance to put the puck in. And they were right; they were a little bit cocky, a bit arrogant throughout that period, and certainly taking some risks in defence, which cost them dearly, the Snipers. And so the Inferno with 3 goals in that period: 2 to Matt Karuna and 1 to Tim Nikitin, who got an absolute ripper towards the end of that game. So an unexpected but a very exciting third period coming up. The Inferno 3 goals to the Snipers 2. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the third period.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, Put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
You play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
the ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, where we are about to watch the third period of what is proving to be a much more exciting game than many might have thought at the start, including myself and Anton, where we thought that was going to go quite much in the hands of the Snipers. But at the end of the first, it was Snipers starting to draw away with a 2-0 lead. But in the second, the Inferno with 3, including a beautiful short-handed goal early on a penalty kill by who was it? Caruana with an absolutely beautiful goal there. And at the end of the second, we find ourselves with a slightly unexpected, but certainly very enjoyable 3-2 lead to the Inferno. They were getting behind the Snipers. Snipers were making some pretty silly mistakes in defence, cross ice passes, giving the puck away, letting the fast guys from the Inferno get behind them. And I think, Gossi, when you were having a talk to Thomas Flack earlier, that they may have come in to those two periods just a little bit overconfident.
Yeah.
And trying to do some fancy stuff. And if they keep the simple game and keep the intensity up, they give themselves a chance to get back in it. They've certainly got the scorers to do it. Have they got the discipline?
Yeah, I think that the score line sometimes can be a bit misleading. I mean, you heard Thomas saying we were up 2-0. We got a bit cocky, but you and I spoke at the end of that there were actually chances for the Inferno in that second period, in that first period. So the game was a lot closer than the 2-0 scoreline had. But you go into the room, you got a 2-goal lead. The other team's got 6 guys on the bench. Things are a little bit looking good. And what did we say? If the Inferno can come out early, get an early goal, what's that going to do? It's going to go to their legs. They get that goal by their captain, Matt Caruana, who we said had to have a big game. And then the floodgates open, right? He got the shorty. Then Tim scored that goal on the doorstep there of Tommy Forrest. And now Drew Coffre and Ralph Koenig, coaching staff there for the Snipers, are in the room saying, guys, let's get it together. Let's go out and force these guys to play defense.
But to be fair, I think there's been some fantastic forechecking in particular for the Inferno by Cy Lake, who has been an absolute ball of energy. He's been back checking hard, putting a lot of pressure on the Snipers D, and as a result, they have been making some blunders and just passing the puck across and handing it over and giving great opportunities away that really they just shouldn't be. It's we all make mistakes under pressure, and there's just been a few of them, and I think from the Snipers' perspective, they are really missing the experience and the wisdom of Michael McMahon, who usually settles his D down and just gets them to simplify their game and just be smart about it. When he's not here, I think they might be drifting a bit, trying to be a bit fancy, and as a result, letting the Inferno get behind them. And well, we see what that's resulted so far: a 3-2 lead. The Snipers want to come out hard and fast and keep the intensity as high as they possibly can, and see if they can run the Inferno out of legs and get back on fairly quickly.
Well, let's not take anything away from the man in the black pads down the Inferno way. He has made 23 saves so far, so the Snipers have been out shooting the Inferno. So they've been down there. Right. They just haven't been able to score more as of yet.
Well, in the credit of the Inferno defense, they've been forcing them wide. They haven't had a lot of really good scoring opportunities. They've had a couple. There was one where Liam Webster, I think pretty much all of us thought the puck had gone in the net, with the exception of the net itself, which was determined to keep it out. And that one was a goal by all money, except the one where it actually makes any difference. But mostly the Inferno have done a pretty good job of forcing the Snipers out wide. I think George, their coach, is doing a great job of just keeping them disciplined and concentrating on, as Cy was saying in your interview with him earlier, keeping the shift short, the intensity as high as they possibly can. One little interesting statistic too is one of their boys, Adam Harper, is now the second highest penalty scorer in the league, after none other than, of course, Jamie Burke.
Yeah.
But he's got a few minutes there to catch up to Jamie, but he's got 20 minutes so far of penalties accrued, which is quite a lot for the young guy. I don't think any of them are anything nasty. It's just been perhaps a little bit of a misjudgment.
Yeah, I think he got a 1 10-minute in that game against the Dogs, and I think you could probably guess who probably had the other 10-minute on the other side.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But yeah, I mean it's been a good game. Both teams have had power play opportunities. The Snipers are 1 for 3, and they have allowed 1 shorthanded goal against, whereas the Inferno are 0 for 1.
Webster takes that first face-off, and we're underway.
But they obviously have the shorthanded. So here it is, Caruana, who's got 2 goals, couldn't get that past Lazzarato, but a great poke check by Keisha, and that just came straight on and forced Woodlands into a tough save as he deflected that one into the netting.
A good piece of play there by Liam Webster. He saw that he had no opportunities and he was under pressure, so he just fired it at the net. And sometimes those little ones from a distance can go in, but certainly it creates a rebound or creates a nice face-off opportunity, and away they go.
So Keisha, who's got 2 assists tonight, sends that over to Harper, who now chips that forward, and the Inferno are out. It's Caruana looking for the hat trick here. She can't get past Sincata, and the Snipers will now look to exit the zone. Puck's forward, just out of the reach of Dixon, and Harper will curl away from Webster as the Inferno look to break out of the zone. Cy Lake forward, stops up there with Sincata. Lake centers that one, but pushed into the corner there by Webster as Lake took a big hit from Laver in the far corner. Lazzarato is going to be first to it in the corner there as he battles with Harper. It comes back to Laver, back to Lazzarato. In front shot there by Dixon. Went wide and nearly sprung Lake the other way, but Sincata got back and takes it to the safety behind his own net.
Webster was unmarked there too in the slot as well. The Inferno a bit lucky to get away with that.
Here's Flack just curling away from Frelank. It drops for Barrett here for the Snipers. Curls into the corner. holds on to the puck, patient with it. Good stick lift there by Hector Verlank, but able to get it over to Flack. So Flack twisting and turning now here for the Snipers, drops it for Barrett. Barrett nearly loses that to Verlank, but works hard to get that back. Who, though, comes out with the puck, and he has his stick lifted, and Barrett wins that. What a shift there by Dave Barrett to battle hard, but it's now on the stick of leading Inferno scorer Nikitin, and now here comes Barrett the other way. Some back and forth hockey. Snipers looking to center it. Stolen there by who?
This rapid speed is what the Snipers want to be happening. Try and tire out the legs that the Inferno have left.
And Kikuchi shot that high and wide, and a pinch there by Lazzarato keeps it into the zone. He goes cross ice, or right on actually, and that's just missed by Cy Lake, and Jeff Hu forced into the corner as he's being pushed back by Flack. Lazzarato just catches that on his stick. Check out that hand-eye coordination as he shoveled that forward for Nave.
He looked a bit surprised that he had the puck there and wasn't quite sure what to do with it.
Kikuchi sends it the other way. Webster just has it knocked off his stick, and Kikuchi now picks it up with speed. Drops it at the point, but intercepted by the Inferno, but not out. Spencer Nave, high slot, winds, and a blocking arm save there by Woodlands.
Nice save there, Woodlands, keeping the Inferno in the game with that one.
And there's a nice stretch pass. Here's the flying Frenchman, Hector Verlank, centers that one. It's loose, and there's Cy Lake having a bit of a tumble, but it comes back to Harper, who takes a shot looking for a tip, and Nikitin just tipped that one wide. Verlank, who made that pass in front that just wrong-footed Lake, and Lake now collects it again. He's got it, drops it back to Harper. Some sustained pressure here, and a shot off the stick there of Lazzarato goes wide of the Sniper net.
So good sustained pressure there by the Inferno for a good 20 or 30 seconds.
And a grade A scoring opportunity just snuffed out by Cy Lake being wrong-footed there as Hector Verlank looked to center that one.
Harper there just getting a stick in the way of the shot by Webster, and it deflects off out of play. So we will have a defensive zone face-off now for the Inferno. Just have a look. It's a bit of an indicator of the confidence of the teams, or perhaps arrogance if they're not being careful about it. Look at where the Snipers line up with their D. If they pinch in really close, then they're very confident, but there's also an opportunity to get behind them. And there's a Nikitin just waiting to do it. You can see two of them now bursting away.
Out the brothers, and here it is, Tim Nikitin. He's got one tonight. He's in alone. Nikitin shot. Holy smokes! Tried to go between the legs, but couldn't get past the glove of Tom Forrest as Nikitin came close to extending the lead to 2.
Gossi, I hate to say I told you so, but it's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Well, that's why we got to start Carl's Corner, eh?
I don't think
you are the superstar coach here at iceHQ, training all the young players. And here comes the other Nikitin. So here's Matt. Can he get it past? But a great stick lift by the ever-present Jacob Laver to snuff out that opportunity.
Laver doing a great job in defense for the Snipers. I think he's been the most consistent of them.
And here they come. So Flack with speed. He's got Cutter with him. It's 2-on-2. Flack knocked off the puck there. And here comes Matt Nikitin again. Matt with a shot. Saved there by the stick of Tommy Forrest and into the netting to kill a few more seconds off this third period.
Nikitin there was under a lot of pressure. He was surrounded by 3 bodies.
Here's the replay, though, when he goes through the legs. Timmy boy. Holy smokes.
He does the right thing. He fires it in from a distance down low, forcing Tommy Forrest to have to make a save. Sometimes they go in, sometimes you get a good deflection, but it certainly gets around that press, gives them a great chance to create a scoring chance, and in the end it deflected out of play. But it was good play, and the deflection out of play too for the Inferno. It's on their side. It runs another 20 seconds off the clock.
With another goal tonight, and with pulling off moves like that between the legs, I wonder if Tim Nikitin's had some of his mom's soup like he had last week. But here it is now, and the puck's shoveled forward by Keisha. 2 assists tonight. Hector Verlank has it. Centers that one for Caruana, looking for the hat trick, but that clears all the way into the defensive zone for the Inferno as Hu goes D-to-D with Harper. It's on the stick now of Lake, who has been industrious tonight, but it is knocked off him, and now on the stick of the Wizard. Webster, who takes a shot, and a great job there by Woodlands to track that one and allow no rebound.
Woodlands saw that one coming pretty well. I've got to say, Gossi, I think this Inferno defense has been outstanding in the second and third period. They don't have a lot of legs, but their positional play is good. They're standing back and making sure they're always putting players between the goal and the puck. And as a result, Sniper's not getting a lot of really good scoring opportunities.
So Kikuchi just walking the line, keeps it away from Tim Nikitin. It comes down to Dixon, over to Nave, back to Dixon, but that flies off his stick, and the Inferno now get it out to the neutral zone. Snipers forward. It's with Webster. Webster with a shot off a stick, save. Still with it is Webster. He's got his D partner there. Back to McDowell's got one goal. Takes a shot deflected off the stick of Dixon, but not able to find the back of the net. Kikuchi just hunted down here by Nikitin. Gets out, looking to get a shot away, but a great job there by Caruana, and that springs him. So Caruana one-on-one on Kikuchi. Evades, comes in front, and the hands up, so there will be a penalty and potentially a penalty shot, but Caruana has it now. So with the man advantage here, and Harper just takes it past the blue line, and we are going to have a penalty, and it's going to go again, penalty shot.
Yep.
So we're going to have a penalty shot, and it's going to go by the way of the captain, Mac Caruana, who has 2 goals so far, looking for the hat trick and extending the Inferno lead by 2 here.
And that was Kikuchi's very energetic back checking, but unfortunately just a little bit too much, got tangled up and dragged the play down. Now, the other thing about this, Gossie, too, is while this penalty shot's going on, the clock is still ticking.
Yeah,
if you're an Inferno player, you're just going to take your time.
Captain Webster and Coach Drew Coffrey were absolutely livid, as they believe there's no way that could be a penalty shot if Kikuchi was on the inside as he was going around. Semantics at this point, but you can tell they're a bit frustrated. Let's see what happens here as Mac Caruana comes one-on-one against Tom Forrest.
Thomas Flack there making a complaint about the time, but he's actually on the ice when he's not supposed to be.
Here we are, Caruana coming in, makes a move, stick handles to the back end. What a save by the glove of Tom Forrest. No goal. And the Inferno remain up by 1 with just under 10 minutes remaining. What a job there by Tommy Forrest to track the goal scorer all the way.
It did take another minute off the clock. And really for the Inferno, that gave them another rest and an opportunity there to just take some more time off the clock while they've got the lead. It's the Snipers now under pressure. The Inferno playing for their chances.
And here they go. So with the energize of the big save by the goaltender, here's Tom Flack with speed, but a hell of a poke check there by Keisha. Keisha wins out on the puck, but can't get it past Barrett as the Snipers start the cycle. Who forced back, just chips it over to the open wing. It's collected by Nikitin, who centers that one high and into the ceiling. So we'll have a face-off in the Inferno zone to the right of Seb Woodlands.
Just under 8 minutes now to play by the time we get the drop of the puck. 8.5. 3-2 lead to the Inferno. Let's watch again what the Snipers do. See how close in they're pinching. At least Flack is Labour's drifting back nice and early to keep cover on it, but they do like that pinch in, and they will get caught if they keep.
Oh, centered, and what a shot by Flack, and an even better save by Woodlands as the Snipers look to tie the game. It's Barrett now working in the corner hard, gives it back to Flack. Cutter's open, but he tried to center it back to Barrett, back to Keisha, and he fans on that one, and off goes Lake as he was looking for the stretch pass. Battle now on the half wall. It comes near to the blue line, but not out, and they do finally get it now here through Matt and Nikitin. Keisha shovels it forward, who pinches, but Flack gets it past, and he's got a lane right to the net. Thomas Flack winds, passes, and saved there by Woodlands as that shovels out into the corner and springs the Inferno the other way. Lake on his off wing, winds up, drops it there for Matt Nikitin, who still has it on his stick. He's being watched there by Dixon, and Dixon separates him from the puck and sends it up to Nave. Snipers down by 1 here, just over 7 minutes remaining, deep in the Inferno zone. It's Harper who comes out with the puck, but Lazzarato sends it across looking for Nave, who chips it forward. Frelenk has it and sends it up to Nikitin. Looking for the offside call was Drew Caffrey as he stares down the linesman, but no whistle. It's Nathan Keisha sending that forward. It bounces over the stick of Nave and picked up by the bubbly Kikuchi, who goes in with speed. Centers that across, looking for the deflection of Dixon, but went all the way through the crease. And Tim Nikitin now just decides to take some time off the clock as he goes D to D.
Composed there by Nikitin. He saw they had a nice clear line behind the net. Good play out of it.
And here comes Tim now, one-on-one on McDowell. He's got Caruana with him. Elects to make the pass. It bounces through the crease, but not able to find the stick of his captain, and this is going to allow the Snipers to go the other way. Dixon on his forehand, cuts to the front, centers it off the skate there of Keisha, who is patrolling the crease area, and Lazzarato with a snipe off a stick. Back to Lazzarato with another shot. It's in the legs. It's in the crease. Where is it? It's back with Keisha, who slaps that one and misses everything as he looks skyward. How did that stay out if you're a sniper fan? Helmet's flown off by Barrett, who's deciding to pick that one up and go to the bench. So snipers coming close but not able to get the goal, and here they come again through Kikuchi, trying to get through 4 white sweaters, and the puck now finds Matt Nikitin.
Kikuchi just tries a little bit of a habit of just trying to do a little bit too much.
And
he wants to get that shot away a little bit earlier. He's trying to do a lot of puck handling. He's been doing that endemically through the game.
And a stretch pass here finds Caruana, who's in alone on a breakaway, drops it for Matt Nikitin, scores! Matt Nikitin on the doorstep, picked up the loose puck and deposited it in the top shelf where you keep the cookies from the kids.
Yep, the biscuits are gone. They've been well stolen. 2 goals now, the lead to the Inferno. You can see the Snipers' defence. They keep doing it. They keep getting caught high, and the Sniper and the Inferno are getting out behind them, and they're just not cutting off those options. And the Inferno get behind them, and they're getting odd player rushes. And where are the goals scored? Goal scored, Gossie.
Right in that dangerous pace, mate. What a job.
The odd man rush is the single most likely play to get a goal in the game of hockey. The Snipers really need to shut that down. They've got 5 minutes now to get at least 2 goals.
That goal shows the importance of following the play. Matt Caruana took that straight to the net, but Matt Nikitin just stayed on it and chased there, saying, if you don't score, I'm going to be there. And he was there and was able to deposit that one. And as you said, the Inferno now up by 2. What a game we have in our hands, but the Snipers now with a little bit of extra step. They believe they should win this game, and they're going to do everything they can to claw back with just over 4 minutes remaining.
Believing you should win it and being able to win it are 2 totally different things. And we've certainly seen the Inferno now. Can they hang on for the 4.5 minutes left in this game? 2 goals lead sounds like a lot, but it can turn around really quickly if you're not careful.
So walk us through what happens here. Here comes Flack coming through, just chips it forward, looking for himself, but collected there and now sent back there for Kikuchi. Kikuchi off the line, shovels it back into the corner. It's with Flack, looking to center it to Cutter. It's blocked by Keisha. Great defensive play there to stop the centering pass. Cutter now drops over for Sincata, sends it back to Flack. Flack looks to backhand that into a dangerous opportunity, but eventually collected by the ever-present Nathan Keisha, who will take that forward.
Lake's cutting in.
Caruana still looking for the hat trick. Has it, looked to center it for Tim Nikitin, but missed everyone, and now Cutter will get that out into the neutral zone. Snipers were looking for a change, and just offside allows them to evade that opportunity. But here come the Jets of Jacob Laver. He takes that wide, curls back, looked to center it to Dixon, and it found his stick. Back in front of Webster, and off the stick of Harper, and we have the same neck guard, which is always seeming to find itself onto the ice.
It's like someone throwing their underwear onto the rink, but it is technically underwear. It's not quite a hat trick, but you never know what's going to happen here. With just under 3 minutes to go at the drop of the puck, 2-goal lead to the Inferno. Can they survive this last 2 minutes? At what point will the Snipers pull the goalie? I'd be doing it around about now, to be honest. We want that 2 goals.
Well, we've got the stop time here in a 2-goal game. Happening at the 2-minute mark, so there'll be a little bit of extra time unless Tim Nikitin makes his choice here as he centers that in a shoveled wide there by Frilneck, and it's now back on the stick of Caruana, and a great blocking arm save by Tom Forrest there.
So we now have stop time. So for the last 3 minutes with the 2-goal differential, the clock will stop at every stoppage in the game. So there's now no point for the Inferno to keep trying to delay it because it won't help them. But they can control the puck on the ice as much as they have to, and their pressure all on the Snipers now if they want to win it. This is the game the Inferno needed to win to stay in the competition. They knew it, and they know it. They've done a great job defensively of forcing everyone wide. Their center's doing a great job of owning the slot. Lazzarato looking for a chance to try and sneak behind everyone, but he's been beautifully covered there by Harper, who has played a fantastic game throughout this one, and it is iced by the Snipers, and we'll come back. The clock stops again. If the Inferno win this, they're still in the race for the finals, and they know it, and that's what they're going to want to do.
So Coach Drew Coffray electing to take his time out here as he's going to speak to the troops, as he knows that a win here does a lot for his team to make the finals.
Well, that's
and
right.
Chase down the Dogs.
At the end of this, if the Inferno do win this, then they've only got a 1 point trail behind the Snipers for the race for second place on the ladder. So we've seen the Inferno in this position before in seasons where they've looked all across the board to be well out of it, and in the last couple of games they've just picked it up and ended up winning the grand final last season from a very similar position to this one. We know they can do it. And the coach there, Georgia Carson, just reminding them of the prioritising of defence. They don't need to do anything silly. Watch for the pull of the goalie and the flood of players. But when the goalie does get pulled, you've got to keep your composure. If you just go dumping the puck down the other end and trying to score on it every time, you're going to get done for icing over and over and over again. And with the stop time, it doesn't help. So they want to be composed. Just clear the puck out of the zone. Turn the Snipers around, get them all out, run them back in again if they need to. If you can get out behind them, that's great, but all they need to do is clear the puck out of the zone and not get an icing against themselves, and that will just keep the Snipers on the back foot, and that's what the Inferno need to do here to hang on to this lead. Watch for Tommy Forrest to get pulled off pretty quickly.
And I bet that's what they were talking on the bench, but the face-off is tied up, and it does come to Hector, who takes a shot, and a kick save there by Forrest goes into the corner. Nice job by Laver to win that puck, but Lazzarato wasn't able to get it up to his teammate, but does shovel it forward, and Dixon battles with Keisha, and the puck now on the stick of Nikitin as he looks just to kill a little bit more time as there's under 2 minutes remaining now here in the third period. Liam Webster being watched by the opposing captain, so the two captains battle hard, and Webster goes down, and Caruana comes out with the puck, walks out in the slot area, shot by Vrelnik, down is Forrest, and the puck comes out on the stick of Dixon as he goes out the other way. So a minute 30 left. It's on the stick of the Snipers, Justin Dixon. They got to score now, and the goalie's out and on the puck there. It's loose in the high slot area and on the stick now, and Nikitin as he looks to clear that one. So 6-on-5 now for the remaining part of the game, and Dixon looks to send that over to Webster, and it bounces into the neutral zone.
That's all the Snipers, that's all the Inferno need to do now is just keep carrying the puck out of the zone, run them out, force them to
What a pass
force them
there
to leave the
onto
zone.
the stick of Flack. He goes forward, tries to rim it across. Lazzarato has it, tries to send it back deep for Dixon, who lifts the stick of Harper and comes out with the puck. Sends it down to Kikuchi. Lazzarato to the net. The puck's in the slot area, and down is Woodlands as he covers that one up.
So watch for the Inferno here if they're smart about it with under a minute now to play and a 2-goal lead. It's not guaranteed they're going to win it by any stretch. We've certainly seen 2 goals scored at this point. But the Inferno just need to clear that puck out of the zone. We've got timeout now for
the Inferno.
The Inferno are pulling a timeout as they've realised that the Snipers have pulled Tommy Forrest, their goalie, which means they can run 6 players against 5 the Snipers.
Yeah, and so I reckon the Inferno are just saying, hey, look, there's 54 seconds left.
Yep, let's play
We're
smart.
a bit gassed, right? They've been playing a whole game with very few subs. Let's just figure out what we need to do just to kill these things. Because a quick goal, you never know what happens. We said what happens to the legs. So the Inferno just want to, win the face-off, clear the puck down, and try to kill off some time here and to win this game.
Imagine if they could spring Karuna out, or in fact, a player who really deserves a goal in this one, I think, has got to be Cy Lake. He has been absolutely inspirational. He's been unlucky on a number of occasions, but he's been there all the time, and it was his aggressive forechecking in the first and second that really set this up by just putting relentless pressure on the Snipers' defence and keeping them on the back foot and making poor decisions because of the pressure that Lake was putting on them. I think he's been outstanding. He'd be my pick of the player of the game. But it's still a minute to play. Let's see what happens here. Gossi, can the Snipers get that goal they need quickly? They are 6-on-5. They have pulled the goalie. If they let someone get behind them, they're in trouble. But this is the point where you say, you know what, damn the torpedoes, and let's just throw
caution
to
the wind, as they say, right?
They're watch their deed. Everyone will pinch in close. It's a high-risk strategy, and they've got Thomas Flack sitting out, waiting for a shot if they can get the puck across to him. Webster wins the face-off.
Comes
they
back.
Fly across to Flack, but he moved.
And the shot on and a save there by Woodlands.
45 seconds now to play in this game, but the clock does stop again. It's pretty difficult for the Inferno at this point. It feels like this last minute goes forever, and it really kind of does if you think about it. But if they can win the face-off here, Webster for the Inferno lines up for the Snipers lines up to take it. It's a bit indeterminate, but it pops out the back, and it's cleared down the far end, but that will go for icing. And as a result, the puck will be brought back. That's the risk you take when you go for that big clearance shot from deep. It feels like it's a penalty kill, but it's not, because the other team has only pulled their goalie. So you don't have that opportunity to just dump the puck and hope. If it doesn't go in the net, then it comes back again. This time, yet another face-off opportunity for Webster to try and set up the snipers. Inferno onto it pretty quickly, though. This time, a shot in, but
what
it's
a save there
belted
by
across the front by Woodlands. And
Another
one.
Flack.
And the puck leaves the zone. That's what they need. 25 seconds now to play. It's going to be very difficult for the Inferno. They're going to have another chance through Webster, but they are offside. The clock stops again. 21 seconds to go. Webster just caught offside there by the smallest of margins. But that's all it takes. We'll have a face-off just outside the zone here. One more roll of the dice for the Snipers. Can they get up on the Inferno? No goalie on. Face-off there, won by the Inferno, but it's stolen by Kikuchi. Drives into the corner, trying to get an opportunity, but there's just bodies of white everywhere. They flood the zone, but up to Snipers who fire the shot, and it's loose in the slot, bobbling around, bounces off the back of the glass. Still behind the net, no one able to get possession. It's messy at the moment. Inferno now 2 seconds, or 1 second, and that's it. The Inferno have won this game. No one expected it except perhaps the true believers from the Inferno, and what an outstanding game it was for them indeed. So that takes the ladder now. The Snipers with 2 wins and 3 losses. The Inferno with 2 wins and 3 losses. So they're one of them with a tie. So that was the Snipers had a tie earlier on. 5 points to 4 points on the ladder. It doesn't change the order, but it does mean that the Inferno are still in the race for first place. And it also means that just double check these numbers, I don't think the Snipers can take first place now, so that will guarantee that the Dogs finish on top of the ladder. There aren't enough points remaining for that to change. The maximum number of points that the Snipers could get is 9, which is the number of points that the Dogs have at the moment on the ladder. So the Dogs will finish on top of the ladder now, unless they have an absolutely massive blowout on them and the Snipers win everything, and I can't see that happening, but it is mathematically possible. But the Inferno are still in the race for the finals. We've seen them here before. We know they can do it. They played with a lot of heart, and for mine, I think player of the game for mine would have to be Cy Lake. He didn't score any goals, but it was his aggressive forechecking and just relentless pressure and drive for the Inferno that really brought them home. But a great game too by Matt Karuna with 2 goals. And some great play too by Michael McDowell for the Snipers. And Tommy Forrest was great in goal, but I think you've got to give an awful lot to Sebi Woodlands, who made the goals, made the saves he needed right on time. So a great game there by the Inferno. We're going to cut to an interview very shortly, but before we do, just a reminder, coming up tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. we have the Melbourne Ducks women's team playing against the Adelaide Rush. And we would really love to fill this barn. So get on down here Saturday night. It'll be a great show. We've heard rumours that the Adelaide Rush are bringing a lot of their import players over here, so it'll be some really high-quality hockey. The Melbourne Ducks reckon they're ready for it. Georgia Carson was saying earlier that she's a real believer in this team, and she knows she's been there and done that enough times to really know what she's doing. But we're going to have a great show tomorrow, and also on Sunday, 3 p.m. is the second game of that series. So get yourself down here. Tickets are $8 for adults, free for kids, and all the usual things here at iceHQ, hockey food. And you can get your chips and hot dogs and all that sort of stuff as you would expect. But it will be a great show. So I'm just waiting to see who Gossi has for an interview. Looks like he might be, I don't know who he's got. I think he is going to be grabbing Matt Karuna, who hasn't managed to get off the ice fast enough. Gossi's just kind of ambling over there. And we're not quite sure whose net guard that is. He kept getting abandoned on the ice. Maybe it was Max, but we'll find out that in just a moment. But Matt Karuna, an outstanding game as captain of the Inferno today. And I think they would be pretty thrilled with how that panned out. The Snipers would be a bit disappointed. They did make some pretty expensive errors that gave away a few goals and a lot of pressure. We'll cut over to Gossi now for his interview.
Alrighty, Carl, I'm here with Captain of the Inferno, a man with the best flow on the team, Matt Caruana. What a win, great time. What's going on through your mind right now?
It's great, we were short bench tonight, only had 8 players. Everyone worked their balls off, and, we came out here, did what we wanted to do. We wanted to get the win. We didn't count ourselves out at any point. We just worked as hard as we could and got the job done.
Yeah, definitely. We talked to your teammate, Cy, in between the first and second, and he said, we're down by 2, but we work hard and we keep the shifts going. You never know what happens. And boom, you scored 1, right? Early in the second period, you got that shorthanded goal, and then you guys were off to the races. As a captain, when you got the short bench, what are you telling the guys really, to kind of keep them motivated? Because I can imagine there's a lot of the whole, no, you stay on, I'm a bit tired.
There's not much to say, really. Everyone kind of knew what we were up against when we came. Got in the room and saw a few guys pull out late, so we knew we were going to be undermanned, and all we just said was, you know what, let's just go have some fun. Let's do all that we can do. You know what, we're just here to play hockey and, work hard and anything can happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys were up against it tonight. I'm not sure if you knew, but looking at the standings, had you guys lost this game, it would have been nearly impossible for you guys to make the final. So a little extra fire, you put some pressure on the guys down the way now. You keep the competition a little bit interesting. Like, do you think you guys have the squad to take this all the way and win for a second straight year?
Well, I don't see why not. After a performance like tonight, we got a few extra guys back, obviously, just to help with the lungs. A little bit. I don't see why not. I know it's my first year on the team, and George always says, you know what, we just leave it till late. Who cares what happens the first 5 games? It's what happens in the last one. So, I think we have a chance. We play like that every time, and we're going to have a chance to win each game.
Well, if you do that with that number of players on the bench, imagine what you can do with a full squad. Go celebrate with the guys, and thanks for the chat, Mac.
Thanks, Anton.
Cheers, buddy. See ya. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you, Anton, and thank you to Matt Carena for sparing his legs and lungs there. What a great game it was indeed by the Inferno with that unlikely win, 4v2 in the end, and keeping themselves in the run for the finals here. The final will be on Friday, March the 8th at 7:30 p.m, so that'll be a great show depending on who is in it out of the Snipers and the Inferno, but we can be pretty confident that it'll be up against the Dogs. But that's still a few weeks away, in fact a month, so we've got a while for that. The next round will be Friday the 9th, and it will be the Inferno versus the Dogs. But for us, the big one, the one we're really excited about here, is this coming weekend. So tomorrow and on Sunday, we have the Melbourne Ducks, the Melbourne Ducks women's team against the Adelaide Rush in their last of the exhibition games for the AWIHL series, and they will be absolutely fantastic. And please come on down here to iceHQ and pack the barn. Let's see if we can lift the roof off the place and really give our girls the best possible support that we can. That will be tomorrow, Saturday at 7:30 p.m, and then on Sunday at 3 p.m. Tickets you can get through the iceHQ website, and kids are free for that one as well. Put it in your diary, get yourselves down here. It will be an absolutely fantastic game. I can't wait.